But one of the expelled lawmakers says Republicans are already considering refusing to seat the lawmakers if they are reappointed.
The question is, will they seat us? Because, we've heard from the other side that they may not seat us, even if our council appoints it, even if we win a special election, that they won't even allow us to be seated. And so then we'll see another affront to democracy that we saw with Julian Bond, when he was a young man in Georgia, when they refused, the legislature refused to seat him. And so, I don't know what to expect from this body, but I hope that the nation sees and the alarm is blaring loud, because if it can happen in Tennessee, it can happen anywhere.
It can happen in Tennessee. It can happen anywhere. Joining us now is Hendrell Remus. He is the chair of the Tennessee Democratic Party. He's the first black person to hold that position in Tennessee. Mr. Remus, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me, Ali.
Are you a little surprised at the reaction you're getting from across the country? I understand your counterpart in Wisconsin called you and said, we're gonna help, and they're even going to help you raise money to get these two reelected.
Absolutely, and the outpouring of support has come from every state in the nation. It has come from sitting governors and state party chairs. It has come from elected officials at all levels of government who recognize what we're facing here in Tennessee.
Talk to me about the conversation you had, for instance, with the head of the party in Wisconsin.
We talked about some of the difficulties that the Tennessee legislature has endowed upon the people of our state. We also talked about some of the opportunities that we have to make a difference across Tennessee. We're actually, in about 10 days, we will begin a trial on our redistricting of our state house and state senate maps. We also had a conversation about some of the ongoing issues that representatives have faced inside of the state legislature. So we talked about a litany of issues.
The redistricting matter is actually an interesting one, because you have some real representation issues in Tennessee which result in the kind of legislature that you have right now. Tell me about what this case is and how it could make a difference for this type of movement, this type of groundswell of people who want their elected representatives to do their bidding, to fulfill their will.
Well, after Republicans gerrymandered the maps in Tennessee last year, we vowed to challenge them in state courts because we felt that they would be illegal. Rightfully so, they were illegal. We had a successful beginning stage of that litigation where the state Senate maps were struck down. The state appealed it to the state Supreme Court, asked for the entire case to be dismissed. The state Supreme Court upheld it and sent it to trial that will begin in just 10 days. In pre-trial hearings, the state asked again for the case to be dismissed, but a chancery court denied their request as well. So we feel good about the merits of the case and the bounds of what it represents. It was a clear violation of Tennessee state law that really specifies how redistricting should take place. We didn't sue based on racial or political gerrymandering. We sued based on a clear violation, an illegal gerrymandering of the state maps. And I think we're going to be very successful once this litigation and once this trial wraps and this litigation is over with.
So you did not sue on the basis of racial gerrymandering. Race seems to be playing a part in this, though. There were 3 members who whose expulsion was voted on. 2 of them got expelled. 1 missed being expelled by 1 vote. And she made a comment as she walked out when asked about that. She said, maybe it's because of the color of my skin. The 2 black members got expelled. What do you make of that?
Well, obviously, I think the general public will be able to decide for themselves after the hearings yesterday. I think Republicans left that question lingering. Was this racially driven? But if you look at some of the issues that we faced in Tennessee, during Black History Month, we had representatives who were wanting to strip John Lewis's name off of a street sign and replace it with Donald Trump Boulevard. We had those same representatives offering up lynching as a way for people to be executed in the state. In this same legislative general body, this General Assembly, we had the sitting Speaker of the House having a public meltdown with the former Democratic caucus chair about whether or not he was racist or whether or not there were race-based issues happening inside of the state legislature. So there has been a history of racial overtones that I think the public is beginning to galvanize around and say something's not right here.
I want to just play something that Justin Jones said on Meet the Press Now. It's interesting because his speech in the legislature went viral, and I think that may have helped the cause, the way in which he presented the case. But listen to what he said on Meet the Press Now.
I ran for office as someone who spent 10 years doing community organizing. I was one of the youngest lawmakers, the youngest black lawmaker, trying to represent my generation. And they told me that, basically that I'm uppity, that, that you need to humble yourself. I said, I'm not coming here as an intern. I'm coming here as a legislator, a colleague, an equal.
It's an interesting point he makes, but this generational issue is interesting, right? The idea that these are young people who grew up with these gun drills and active shooter drills and things like that, who are angry about what happened in Tennessee, and they seem to be more in sync with the public than the legislature in general does.
Absolutely, I agree. We can see that by the outpouring of support and the protesters who showed up at the Tennessee State Capitol and peacefully protested. They didn't come there to break the law. They came there to make sure that they could help change the law to save their own lives. Look, in the state legislature, these representatives, they are no stranger to Justin Jones. They know that he has been standing up in that same building, fighting as an activist, trying to move the needle for folks all across Tennessee for years. So they are no stranger to Justin Jones, and they know that he's outspoken. They knew when he got there that he would be a voice for constant change, and he has continued to do that. And as the chair of our state party, that makes me proud to be a Democrat in the South, because we need more people standing up. There were Confederate statues in our state Capitol building. They're no longer there because of the persistence and the standing up of Justin Jones, and we have to applaud that and recognize that. So he came there fighting a racist element that existed in Tennessee.
Hendrell Remus, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ali.